thought I told you. That boy right now, I'm front row, you get rolled out. For my nigga, we front line warriors. I thought I told you. That boy right now, you get rolled out. For my nigga, we front line warriors. I thought I told you. That boy right now, you get rolled out. For my nigga, we front line warriors. I thought I told you. That boy right now, you get rolled out. For my nigga, we front line warriors.
All wanna bring the noise, talk about me and my boys. Disrespect it on the record like a nigga got clout. What it's all about is smoke thug music. Put my name in your mouth and the nigga gon' do you. Who the fuck them niggas trying to play? Lay don't stop until you meet my clock. I'ma get you, make your body ride, nigga, make the party pop, nigga. Why not? Time's ticking on the clock, ain't the heat hot? I'ma hit the weed spot, you ain't ride with my niggas till the beat drop. We got big Benjamin spending CEOs. Why you playing? We buy y'all renting 10 men. Probably living in a tent, pocket full of lint. Tryna flip it like I flip it, nigga got me bent. And like I said it on the last song, nigga, we joy riders. And y'all ain't bum. We B.O.B. the bad boy, the bone.
This is Wilcox reporting once again from Victoria, BC. This is our second show now on our new HIV hepatitis C channel, or HCV channel, that we have on YouTube. Doing our best to advocate and educate, something that I feel has been lacking fundamentally here in BC anyway, and I believe in several other parts of the world. I believe that HIV is being downplayed a little bit, and it's time that we start to step up, act up, and start to educate one another on how to fight in a host of areas. This being said, tonight's show is going to be about HIV positive parents, as you can tell by the title, of course. We have some statistics, and we have some ideas of what it's like to be parents, because both my wife and my wife and I are both not only an emogulated family, but we are also individual parents who have both had to have children early on. In fact, my wife had the first HIV negative born child in BC, going way back to early 90s, so mid 90s. So this was a big case, and is something that we both had a lot of experience with. I had my daughter 8 years ago, and again, this is when things were iffy. Children were still being born positive. You had options on the table. For any of you that are out there considering whether you may or may not want to be a parent, there's a lot of things to consider, not only on how to go about conceiving a child safely, but also what's required for the 3 trimesters, as far as antiretroviral treatment, as far as being able to maintain your blood work, proper balance of nutrition, and standard protocol, I guess, for a mother if you have it, with the addition of the blood work and of course the antiretroviral adherence, which is proprietary to keeping your viral load undetectable during this stage. And of course, it helps to have, in the case where there's 2 people, it helps to have a partner there that's supportive and able to help and make sure that those things are being done, and that no additional harms are coming in the direction of the baby. And then you need to look at, as well, during those 3 trimesters, are there various ultrasounds. Now, unlike a standard pregnancy with 1 or 2 ultrasounds, with HIV you get 6 or 7, 10 ultrasounds. It depends on what's going on, or if there's complications, but there are a lot. I think I had about 5 ultrasounds, and I didn't necessarily agree with that, and I know my wife had somewhere in the same line, and we were concerned with the amount of radiation, and it wasn't for any other reason other than that's just part of the protocol. Then there's adhering to the doctors. You have to make sure you go in and you listen, and then you have to make what I would say was the most hardest and fundamental choice for both my wife and I, my ex-wife I should say, and I at the time, and that was, should this child be after doing some research, I found out that the child's not exposed to the HIV virus until the water breaks, okay, or the embryo sac, whatever you want to call it. When that breaks, the baby then is exposed to the mother's fluids and exposed to the virus, okay, provided we're keeping the viral load under the 50 count. So that's why we decided to go with a planned cesarean. So not only did we have 3 trimesters of antiretroviral treatment, which was dalbinavir, 3TC, and D4T at the time. That was a cocktail of choice that was being implemented, and that's what succeeded. As well, At this time, when you have the choice, you can sign and consent, which is what we did, okaying planned cesarean. So we knew when, what day, what time, where, everything else, our baby was going to be born, which was a little more unique. We missed out on the experience of having a natural birth and what that entails. However, to rule on the side of safety, there would be nothing I would want, or there would be nothing that I fear more than having to bury my daughter from the very disease that I gave her. So I took every precaution that I could, as did my ex. We needed to do what we could to protect our child, and that was another hard decision. So those that may be considering different options, those are things that you may want to consider as well. And then, of course, after you have your baby, you then have to deal with various other aspects of post-counseling and all that entails. You have to give your baby 6 weeks of ACT. That's not fun. Making your own child sick. The joy of holding my daughter in my hand, looking at her and saying, I'm an ex-thug. I don't know what I'm going to do with you, but I give you my word I won't leave your side. 8 years later, I haven't left her side. She's upstairs sleeping. So, I like to honor my word as best I can. But I remember really feeling lost, being mean. I have a troublesome past, and I didn't see myself being a father and having the skill set applicable to be a good dad. And I still don't. I sometimes question that because of the poverty issues that are at hand. What exactly I can truly offer her. That remains to be seen when she becomes a teenager, I think. But back on course here with post delivery, you then have to look at blood tests for 18 months. Okay, those blood tests, there's a PCR test which will tell you early on whether your child's HIV positive or not. They tell you it's not 100%, but I believe that it is. They want you to keep taking the blood work for 18 months. They want you to keep your child on AZT. I personally made the choice not to continue to put my daughter through the blood work. I took her in, I think, once after 6 months. Sorry, the first time initially, then I took her again after 6 months, and then I took her again at a year, and again at 18 months. And then they cleared her as HIV negative, where they wanted to do it every month to her. What I would like to explain to you, for those of you who may not have seen it, there is nothing more emotionally disturbing than seeing an infant child that is not more than a month old being forcibly held down, arms, legs, head, so they can't move, and they're screaming, their poor little tongues and their lungs are going. And there's a lady poking away and poking away and poking away, trying to find a vein. Now, I know it's hard to find a vein on a child. I did not see the logic in them researching it and doing it every month to my daughter. The trauma did not meet the means. I didn't understand why 6 months. To me, it did make a difference whether it be test them now or test them in 6 months. I don't understand why I had to do it 6 times every month. That didn't make sense. That meant trauma on my daughter, unnecessary trauma. So little things like this, where if we collectively share this information, we can collectively walk into our situations and understand whether we're helping the doctors with their research or whether we're actually helping our child. Because nothing comes before my child, so I was always trying to look at what's best for the child. And certainly making her be held down for blood work unnecessarily every month just to determine whether she was HIV positive did make a difference, considering the fact that the HIV wouldn't even start to bother her for at least 8 to 10 years. Okay, start to affect her. This was the kind of stuff I looked at. So looking at that blood work is something else that you may want to certainly look into and talk with your doctors about, because it's not an easy thing. And then you have to start to look at some more serious questions like who's going to care for your daughter when you're gone. It's one of the most hardest ones. I struggle with it still. I wish I could say that I had a strong family that knew 100% what they were doing around the care of my daughter when I'm gone, but I can't say that. All I can say is that currently my daughter, who I love very dearly, is set to go with family. What that entails, I don't